Shalom, Laha Alahayim, peace to the gods, Nawathan, Kal Halalium La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Giving all praises to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors unto the elder apostles, elder bishops, and the head elders of all the camps of GMS, Great Millstone, who do well. Salutations and blessings be upon the hopeful elect scattered abroad. It's your brother Tazapanya back at it again with a quick hit through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. As you see in my topic, there's going to be a response video. I got it lined up. John Williams, he be coming with some heat, man. He be coming with some heat. Of course, you know, us and the truth, we filter it through the scriptures, right? But it's a response video to his video, which is titled, Americans Prepare for What Happens Next. Okay. So if we have one body, you should already know what type of mindset or what comes to my mind as reading this topic. So let's get a quick scripture. This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, and verse 17. Okay. Now, when understanding the context of this chapter, all right, this is talking about John the Baptist. Okay. So yeah, we'll just start off and read it. So it reads, and he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elias, which is Greek for Elijah. And remember, in Malachi, Elijah was set to come back, hence reincarnation. The same spirit was to come back down again in a new body, which Yahweh Shai told to his disciples, which was John the Baptist. Okay. Continuing on, it says to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just. Here's the point: to make ready a people prepared for the Lord. Okay. So as this is John Williams talks about Americans need to basically prepare for what happens next. Okay. We believe Abba Bivens, which through faith was John the Baptist, which then was Elijah, which basically turned this truth into the faith of Yahweh Shai, coming out of the commandment keepers, the Old Testament only, Torah Tanakh only type ways. And basically with this whole One West and all these camps, coming about, turning us back and getting us right, you feel me, through the spirit. You see what I'm saying? Showing us the way, showing us who Yahweh Shah really is, and because Yahweh Shah is the way, right? So to make ready a people prepared for the Lord, that's what we preparing for. So we're not American. We might, we have citizenship. Paul himself uses Roman citizenship. He was a Roman, but he was of the tribe of Benjamin. So us living here in Babylon the Great, we could use it when we need to use it, but we know our true nationality. We remember ourselves in our captivities. Okay, so now let's go to, before we play the video, this is Luke chapter 12, verse 47. All right, so this is on the opposite spectrum. And that servant which knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. Ooh, you see? So, all right, you supposed to prepare yourself. And if you don't, and you know the Lord's will, you're an Israelite, you know what the Israelites are supposed to be doing. All right. Akim wa Akwath. All right, you're gonna be beaten with many stripes, man. So, all right, let's get, without further ado, play this video, break it down through the scriptures.
Hey, what's up, guys? John here. Some pretty crazy things are unfolding right now. A lot of people are paying attention to small and regional banks. People are paying attention to, what's going on worldwide. They're looking at the dollar. They're looking at things and saying, you know what, none of this makes sense. It feels like we're stepping into some pretty dark times. And the more I dig into this, the more I look into it, the more I agree with you. And I think we are stepping into some pretty crazy times.
We are stepping into some pretty crazy times. I mean, duh, right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And see, that's what we're looking for. See, we know the Lord's will and we do it. We don't want to be beaten with many stripes. We're trying to prepare ourselves for the Lord. Okay? Yahweh Shai. All right? Coming to save us. That's what his name means. He is deliverance. All right? So yeah, heavy dark times is coming. All right? But we preparing ourselves with the only thing that's going to keep us stable in those times. There go the word time again, like he just said. If he said dark times is coming, matter of fact, let's go get it. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And it reads, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure.
At the same time that this is all occurring and inflation is skyrocketing, Joe Biden and the Biden administration are proposing a slew of new taxes nationwide that will make things much, much more challenging for business owners and middle class Americans. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through what's going on, what you can prepare for, how you can do this, and what this could likely mean for the US dollar over the coming few years as countries around the world are de-dollarizing. This could be a very, very bad thing for the dollar and a very bad thing for America as a whole. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate more people about what's really going on. Today's video is sponsored by my company, GreatCreditFast.com. We specialize in
Let's skip that, man.
For this does not include city taxes or employment taxes or anything else. Anything else. So California, 53%, basically 52.9%. Florida and Texas would go from about 37% federal to 39.6%. I mean, it's nationwide. You're looking somewhere in the mid 40% to 50%. Taxes, 45 to 50%. This is not including the inflation tax. It's about 1.5%.
That shit is crazy. When you think about it, bro, and on average 40 to 50%, that means you only taking home 60 to 50% of your money that you working for, bro. But Jake out there don't want to think that we still slaves.
2% a month. And that's the real inflation. I know they want to tell you 6%. I mean, I don't think me and you are believing that. Probably somewhere around 16%, 15%. So probably somewhere around 1.5% to 2% a month is what inflation really is. So if you look at an earner making $100,000 a year living in one of these cities, they're taking home 55, 60K pre-tax if that's their net income. And then inflation's at 15 or 20%, whatever it is. Maybe they're sitting with $50,000 in income, $4,000 a month, $48,000. And that $4,000 a month, they have a basic apartment, $2,000 a month. They're left with $2,000. They have a car payment for $800. They have, car insurance. They have gas. They have food, cell phone bill. Before you know it, they're sitting with $300 a month, $500 a month, right? This is basically what's happening right now. But most people aren't in that situation because most people have credit card debt. We have over $1 trillion in outstanding credit card debt.
So what he just said, like if you making 100 bands a year, 100K, right? You coming home with like 50 grand, and then with all your expenses, when you break it down to a month on an approximate, you only got about 300, 500 spending money a month, man. This shit is hell, bro. This is the book of Haggai, chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Right now, and consumers, they have less and less savings now than they've had in many, many, many years, decades. And so as this is all happening, they're doing something fascinating. They're considering to do something called a billionaire's tax and tax unrealized capital gains. So they're doing this, putting out this, this message to the general populace that, hey, we need to go after the wealthy. The wealthy are the ones that are causing all this damage to the economy. We need to tax the rich, eat the rich, all this. The reality is that's nothing except theater, and no wealthy, billionaires paying, 25% tax. They're not going to go write a check for, $500 million if they're worth $2 billion. They're just not going to do it. Instead, they're going to do more, like what Apple's doing. Apple, 0% tax. They set up in Jersey, and Jersey, on their $44.7 billion in outside income in the U.S., they're paying about 4%. 4%. So this is actually a great thing for a company like Apple at a time when they're talking about automation, eroding 73 million jobs, about 46% of the workforce. And why would that be? Well, if they send this message that we need to tax the rich, we need to tax the wealthy, and we need to increase the tax rate, the marginal tax rate on top income, what does this actually mean? Well, it means that people that do not have these tax structures, that aren't prepared, they are going to get eroded. And so as the quality of living starts to come down, and a lot of these large corporations are taking their business offshore, they're compounding money. They're protecting and preserving their capital. They're going to be able to come back in and buy things for pennies on the dollar, as well as infrastructure, and invest heavily into robotics and technology. This is all going to be a great thing for them. And so as this is all occurring,
Apple, they really want robot, and watch how he tie it all in together. Automated jobs means robots. 46%, they saying by 2030. Now remember, Agenda 2030 is sped up. The WEF is working with the UN to speed up Agenda 2030. So we ain't making it to no 2030, man. All right. Revelation 12 and 12. They know they have a short time. All right. They're not making it to no 2030. So listen, there's going to be no work in Egypt that neither the head or the tail or the branch of the rush may do. All right, a fucking robot going to take your shit.
We look at some of these proposals, like from Tony Blair. Tony Blair is proposing a Web3 based universal basic income.
You see that? Do you see this? And we've been talking about this. All right, a proposal for Web3 based universal basic income. So when the scriptures is saying, when he's saying America's prepared for what happens next, right? And us in the truth are prepared for the the day of the Lord. All right, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. So we have to know a small matter and a great matter. All right, because UBI is going to be nothing but a snare. Okay, watch how he break it down.
A lot of people know Tony Blair. He's the former Prime Minister of the UK from 97 to 2007.
So look, Tony Blair is the one who proposed this, and he was the Prime Minister of the UK for 20 years. Or 10 years, right? So remember, the Bank of England, right, UK, all right, the Bank of England has already have their micro CHIPS prepared. All right, Richard Warner already talked about this. You could type it up. All right, they already got the infrastructure ready.
Big at this group here, so they're proposing to do a universal basic income, basically position everyone to where they have to have their hands out to get assistance, right? So if you have, credit card debt or high interest rate, adjustable rate debt, that's the time to get out of it. That's the last situation you want to be in, is on a universal basic income. If you don't have to be, the reason for it is if you have to have your hand out to get something and you have no other option, then basically the other party owns you, right? But if you have
did you just hear that? Let me play that back.
Credit card debt or high interest rate, adjustable rate debt, this is time to get out of it. That's the last situation you want to be in, is on a universal basic income. If you don't have to be, the reason for it is if you have to have your hand out to get something and you have no other option, then basically the other party owns you.
And for all you other camps that do not understand that the mark of the beast is a charagma, All right. The Most High has literally blinded your eyes to see. He has given you a strong delusion. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. When you look up that word servant, it's ibad, okay, which means slave to the lender. So universal basic income is basically, this is why Santa Claus Schwab Klaus Schwab said you will own nothing and be happy. Why? Because they're giving you everything and they're lending it to you because you don't own the money. You don't create the money because it's programmable that they programmed it for what it to do and utilize for whatever, because it's a digital currency. All right. And universal because this thing is going to be global and he calls it all. Okay. See, people can't see it yet, but the prophets see it. They have the vision to see, man. All right. So he said that you are basically owned by the people who give you the UBI. All right. This is why we go into charagma, charax, grapho, stigma, the Greek words that tie into the precepts on what the mark of the beast is, man. A branding upon to show ownership and possession. The digital all. And type in Richard Werner universal basic income, and he tells you that UBI, universal basic income, is the bait to the micro C-hip. So when I heard this, I'm like, oh, it just all lines up. It just all lines up. So people could see it. John Wood, he might not know about the micro C-hip, right? But he knows that if you take even just the UBI, which I don't know if he knows or not, is going to be digital currency. That's the only way they're going to be able to give you a full-on money that's going to be able to basically you're going to be able to live off of, but you're going to have to cooperate. All right, you're going to have to be in compliance, meaning you worship the image of the beast, and you're going to do that eventually by taking that C-hip.
Right, but if you have the option and you can pivot, you can say no, I'm okay. I got this going on over here. I don't need your help. You have more options, more freedom, more power, more liberty.
Right, because we have liberty in Yahweh Shai. Yeah, our power, we could do all things through Yahweh Shai who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Our power is the most high power. Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. All right. And that's pretty much it. But I'm gonna go to this next video. You see what I'm saying? Because that shit was crazy. This is the brother XRP Vale. SVB bank collapse, real reason. Watch this.
What's going on, guys? Mr. Vale here, XRP Vale. Subscribe, leave a comment, share the video, share my video. 1,000 likes, 1,000 comments. Watch to the end. Correct Ledger 9OS link in the description. Let's get into it. So, people over here, I'm looking around and I just be laughing what people say, right? Because I don't think a lot of people still get it. So what was that lady's name? Eleanor, the lady from the news, Eleanor. And I respect Eleanor a lot. She does a very phenomenal, great job in what she does. But she had shared something that said the simple fact that the reason why the SVB bank collapsed or something like that was because to send a message that to crypto that they don't want no crypto or something like that, to send a message to crypto that they don't want it, right? First of all, the real reason for the SVB bank collapse is simply because they're getting ready to unleash the new system.
You hear that? Salakia, damn.
Oh, what's going on, God?
Let me go back to where he was at.
Then now, the new system.
Right. So what is the new system? The B system, man. See, he knows, man, because it's gonna be CBDCs. Now he think he's gonna get rich off the ones that's regulated by them. That is the technology that the central bank's gonna use, which he might be right. You see what I'm saying? But we all know that eventually, if you want to keep those digital assets, all right, they're gonna force your hand, literally. I just thought of no pun intended, but pun intended. They're gonna force your hand spiritually and literally, man. They're gonna put you in a box. You see what I'm saying? Where you're gonna have to stick your hand out or your head out, all right, to put that computer C-hip in there, man, in order to use all of the riches that you've acquired during this great wealth transfer, aka the Great Reset.
which is clearly obvious.
Right.
So I don't know if people remember, like I mentioned before, problem, reaction, solution.
And to see everybody's on the Hegelian dialectic now. You see what I'm saying? Because when you understand the Hegelian dialectic, everything makes sense. All right, on how the devil works, man. All right, these Edomites, they create the problem and they see the reaction. They put it through algorithms and AI and they research it and this and that and the third, which they did. They do it already through think tanks, and then they come out with the solution.
The problem was the banks was already in trouble.
Facts.
Then now the banks collapse, and now we're getting the reaction.
Right.
After the reaction comes the solution.
See, and when I heard, I was like, yo, that makes perfect sense. The banks was already in trouble. All right. Now they purposely making these banks fail because when you start looking at it, the management of SVB had bonuses. Certain niggas took their money out before there was insider shit going on. They was already working with the FDIC. You see what I'm saying? A bunch of fishy shit was going on. All right. And then the reaction is happening right now. They seeing how people's reacting, what they put the bank runs. That's reaction. Oh, this and that and the third, and putting money in the crypto and this and that and the third. And you'll be surprised. A lot of niggas don't even know this shit is going on. That's what's crazy, bro. A lot of Jake, man. I work with Issachar. Issachar got they head up their ass. You feel me? But it's the same thing with Judah. Same thing with a bunch of these niggas. Benjamin, Ephraim, all of them, man. They don't know shit, bro. You see what I'm saying? And they gonna get caught like by the thief in the night, man. All right?
You understand? So the real reason why all this happened, all the banks collapsing, New York Signature Bank, is to usher in the solution,
Right.
which is crypto, blockchain. That's the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Notice how when Ripple had their advertisement, first of all, like I said, it's not an advertisement, it's a message.
And that's deep too. All right. So anytime you see an ad, right? Like your Super Bowl advertisements, the marketing, things of that nature, notice behind the scenes, the people that create these ads they're putting out messages. All right. So wisdom is too high for a fool. All right. Don't let that go over your head.
When Ripple had their advertisement and they was basically saying, crypto means business, faster payments. Look at the Coinbase commercial. Need a new system. Takes 5 days to send payments. They didn't say takes 5 days to send messages. It said payments. That's what XRP is for, cross-border payments. And people see that and they still deny the facts. The real reason was to usher in crypto, was to solve the banking problem that has been going on. The SVB bank has been collapsing 4 months before it started collapsing. Why do you think FDIC got involved so fast?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think FDIC got involved so fast? Because they've been involved. They've been talking to FDIC. When they checked that quarterly report, they already knew. They already knew that this was going to happen.
Right, and that makes a lot of sense because if the FDIC insures all depositors 250,000 under of all banks in America, they have to overlook and oversee all banks and their depositors and their numbers. So if you look at the numbers, you're gonna see, damn, yeah, this shit is going down. All right, that's why immediately, boom, FDIC go to bailout. You feel me? All the depositors and all of that. You see what I'm saying? Yo, this shit is crazy, bro. It's a wicked rigged game that they playing. You see what I'm saying? But we have Yahweh Shah on our side.
You understand what I'm saying? And then now it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So the real reason for it was to introduce a solution, which is crypto. That's why Ripple said crypto means business. Just like Brad Garlinghouse said, we're going to drive trillions of dollars in demand for XRP because we're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. Now this banking collapse, which was banks that were in the top 10 banks, all this is going to trickle down over the world. And keep in mind,
which is already
they
done.
already had all this problem with the inflation on top of that. They already had the energy prices on top of that. Now you add this banking crisis on top of that. What do you think is going to happen now?
Mm-hmm.
Just like the C19. When the C19 happened, what happened next? Crypto exploded. Now we're in the new Black Swan event. Notice how when the banks went down, the whole crypto market went up. See what I'm saying? Time to introduce the blockchain crypto solution, and they need an excuse to do that. Well, here it is.
And that's the CBDC. All right, so I'm gonna leave y'all off with one scripture in the book of Peter, man. One of my favorite scriptures. The more I read it, this is 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13, and it reads, "Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach." Abba Ball, Kwam Yasharala. Until the next time, Shalom. Shalom Laha Alahayim. Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai.